There is not currently a Nobel Prize for meat cookery, but for me, there is no better ground meat application. This is it. If I'm gonna make a meaty thing, then this smoked meatloaf has come to the top. I make it, I have to give it away like baked goods because I'll just stand and eat it all if it's that good. You don't run into many smoked meatloaves. You just don't. Matter of fact, I was having a conversation with somebody about meatloaf, and they said, well, what could make your meatloaf better? And I said, smoke it. And so I set out to try to make a smoked meatloaf. And the challenge with a smoked meatloaf is it's very easy to overwhelm with smoke. And I think I got it. It took a while, though. Smoked meatloaf, step one, assemble the glaze. This is a combination of ketchup and tomato paste, chipotle chilies, which come out of a can, and cocoa powder. There's an earthiness that comes out of cocoa that I think is very useful. So that's the glaze. There. Now, 2/3 of this is going to go into the meatloaf, and then another third is going to go on top of the meatloaf. So I'm just gonna separate out 1/3 about. You set that aside. Here's a secret ingredient. Well, it's not really a secret because I'm telling it. Barbecue potato chips, the thick, ridge kind. Instead of breadcrumbs or any other nonsense, you will be tempted to eat them all. Do not. That goes into a food processor. You pulse that until it's kind of like a heavy breadcrumb, because you got to have something to soak up fat and juices inside the meat. Then that goes on top of that 2/3 of the glaze mixture. Then aromatics. Onion, carrot goes in, along with some garlic and a Fresno chili, one of my favorite chilies to cook with, which you see. Whatever you do, don't go scratching your eyes or you'll run screaming out of the house. That's not good. All right. We're gonna process about 10 times. That goes into a pan and you kind of sweat it over medium-low heat with some olive oil, along with kosher salt and dried sage. Sage and barbecue-flavored things is really great. It gives that herbaceous quality. Once that kind of browns and softens, you put that into the bowl with the glaze and the potato chips. Then the meat mixture. Pound of ground sirloin, that's from back here. Pound of ground chuck, that's from up here. Pound of ground pork. So what do you do with the leftover styrofoam trays from your meat purchases? Well, if you're awesome, you make art out of them. 3 eggs. 1 egg per pound of meat goes in. Now, as far as bringing this together, hands. Clean hands are the best tool for the job. I'm just kind of poking and folding. You don't want to squish it. And you put it onto aluminum foil. Really kind of compact this as you shape it, or else it's not going to slice well. It's going to crumble, and we don't want that. Wrap it up. Now, of course, a good bit of fat is going to render out of this as it cooks, so we need to make some holes for that fat to get out. So let it sit for an hour. Now, to the smoker. Down south, we have smokers, and we demand the land to have smokers and the freedom to use our smokers. It's in the Constitution, it's in the Bill of Rights, it's just very small. But I would still bake a meatloaf, sure, if I was out of wood. Despite the fact that I live in the South, I do own an electric smoker. I know it's kind of a sin around here, but it's an amazingly efficient piece of equipment, and it can do a lot of smoking on a very small amount of wood. How small? 2 ounces. I like hickory. Oak is okay, too. Get that going at 250 degrees. Meatloaf, top rack, drip pan, right beneath it. Let that go for about 45 minutes and unwrap the top of the foil so that the meatloaf is now exposed. Brush on that last third of the glaze. Put in the sensor. Most smokers come with a sensor. If not, use any kind of thermometer that you can and continue to cook it till it hits 140 degrees. Now, that's not what the government says you should do. The government says you should cook a ground meat product to 165. I say, that's what we're looking for right there. Wrap it up again, let it rest for about half an hour before I slice it. And I'm having a hard time talking because I'm making so much saliva thinking about it. Okay, now. And I always cut here in the kitchen so that nobody sees me do this. Yeah. It's tangy because of the tomato product. It's herbaceous. You've got that great meat there, and then you've got the smoke.
Definitely taste the spice. And I taste barbecue potato chips. This makes me very happy.
I'm gonna get up early in the morning to wait for that call from the Nobel Committee. Yes, I accept. I'll be there.